Earlier in 2024, calls were made for Barcelona to sell their 60 million player Raphinha to make room for Euro 2024 winner Nico Williams. Nico rejected signing for Barca, and so the club decided to keep the Brazilian. 17 goals and 10 assists later, Raphinha has become one of Barcelona's best players, striking up a front three partnership with Lamine Yamal and Robert Lewandowski in a team that has now scored over 40 goals in less than 15 league matches. He has bagged 2 hat-tricks so far this season, one in their 7-0 victory over Real Valladolid and in arguably his finest showing of the season against multi-time Champions League winners and Bundesliga powerhouse Bayern Munich. This is impressive from a player whose future at the club wasn't even certain a few months ago. A player who was mostly beginning to resemble a 60 million euros waste of money has now become one of Barcelona's best players this season. He went from being ticked off after being subbed off in matches where he didn't play to his manager's satisfaction to playing the best football he's played in a long time. So what changed? How did Raphinha become this good, and most importantly, is it going to last? This is the incredible resurgence of Raphinha. In the summer of 2022, as part of the players to arrive during the club's shopping spree, Raphinha arrived from Barcelona from Premier League club Leeds United. Signed for almost 60 million euros by a club in massive financial crisis, a lot was expected of him going into the 2022-23 season. For me, it is an enormous pride to be here. I want to thank everyone. I have many idols who have passed through here and have made history. If I manage to do half as much as them, I will already do a lot. It is a child's dream that I'm doing it. My family too. I'm going to do my best for Barca. According to The Athletic, Xavi and his backroom staff had started monitoring the Brazilian closely. As soon as Dembele began to show signs he will not be signing an extension last June, Barcelona were operating under the assumption Dembele had an agreement with another club, so they started thinking about a new winger. The relationship between President Juan Laporta and the player's agent, former footballer Deco, brought Raphinha's name to the table. Xavi started to pay special attention to every Leeds game and was convinced by what he saw. The attack was a huge priority for Xavi. That's why even despite the signing of Ferran Torres in January from Man City for over 50 million euros, the club went for Raphinha in spite of Dembele already displaying readiness to sign a new contract. He wanted all the reinforcements he could possibly get up front, brought in to provide much needed competition for notoriously injury-prone Ousmane Dembele, and with Xavi at the helm, looking to take charge in his first full season at the club, Raphinha was expected to bring the Brazilian flair to a club which is no stranger to wonderful Brazilian players. All of us who have lived through golden times at the club, there were always Brazilians. He takes the baton of illusion and magic from the club. We think that a beautiful game is coming back. It's Xavi who has loved him. He has insisted a lot, and the club has done everything they could. One of the key contributors to Leeds United's long-awaited return to the Premier League, Raphinha had a reputation of being an audacious, dynamic, speedy winger who would destroy every fullback he encountered. He was really electric, creative, versatile, laborious, and highly industrious. Of course, why wouldn't he be? He was playing under Marcelo Bielsa, one of the most demanding managers in world football after all. His first season, however, at Barca did not go as expected. Although he didn't have a poor season, he just struggled to settle in. His situation also wasn't helped by the fact that Ousmane Dembele's performances had significantly improved at this time. He was performing well, and this led to Xavi trusting him enough to playing him consistently. Raphinha was in Barcelona's starting 11 for 6 of the season's opening 9 league matches and would have 1 goal and 1 assist to show for it. In the Champions League, in the group of death, Barcelona crashed out of the group stage due to poor results against the particular suspect Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. In the league, Real Madrid won the first Clásico of the season 3-1 at the Bernabeu. Raphinha featured in most of these games, but would find himself getting subbed off often. Being subbed off in the 60th minute of every game didn't help him on the mental side. A source close to the players' camp, who preferred to speak anonymously in order to protect their position, told The Athletic. He probably felt even more urgently the need to prove his point. He wanted to do everything too fast. According to this same source, the Brazilian's desire to prove himself has let the player down in the past. They say he likes to watch compilations of his career's best moments to motivate himself and to act as a reminder of the player he can be. He worked very hard off the pitch to improve his performances, even taking extra private sessions to level up his game. However, despite this, the club's defeat at the Bernabeu in October will temporarily seal his fate, as he did not start for Barcelona again until after the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Raphinha had very few opportunities to play in his preferred right wing, and after being in and out of the starting 11 and made to play different positions, he only managed 6 goals contributions by the time of the World Cup in late November of 2022. I haven't played on the left for a long time. Almost 5 years ago, I adapted to playing on the right and I like playing there better. The problem is that when you arrive at a new club, it is important to play in your place to adapt and play well. But I spoke with the coach, and if he puts me on the left, I want to continue helping. Dembele came out guns blazing after the restart in December, but everything changed when he got injured in a match against Girona. This injury would give Raphinha the opportunity to shine, and he did. He excelled tremendously. He was able to end the league season with 7 goals and 7 assists, 10 and 12 in all competitions. Although not a bad season for a player just playing in his first at a new club, it wasn't the best for a player which a financially struggling team paid 60 million euros for. Despite playing well on the days he was good, his performances were still quite inconsistent. He knew he had to step up the following season. The momentum he has gathered was going to be channeled towards the next season. Things couldn't have been made much easier for him when in the summer of 2023, Ousmane Dembele and Barcelona decided to put an end to their 6-year marriage as the Frenchman signed for Ligue 1 giants Paris Saint-Germain, a deal that cost the French outfit 50 million euros. This was Raphinha's moment to finally step into the limelight and lead this Barcelona team to the promised land. He shall not be denied. Well, he was. The season began horribly for him as he got sent off for elbowing Gaston Alvarez in Barcelona's opening game of the season against Getafe. The elbow, deemed intentional by the referee, led to the Brazilian seeing a straight red. This incident sparked controversy, with some arguing that the red card was too harsh, others believing it was a fair decision. Raphinha later apologized for his actions. In September, he picked up a hamstring injury in a league game against Sevilla and was set to be sidelined for a few weeks. This paved the way and gave opportunity to Lamine Yamal, and the rest is history. He gained yet another resurgence around the same time Xavi's team had a resurgence in the second half of the season. His major highlights being his 2 assists against Serie A giants Napoli in the Champions League round of 16 and a brace against French giants Paris Saint-Germain. Despite the team's tremendous form, something which had earned Xavi a lifeline at the club, manager was sacked a month later after he misspoke in front of the press. With Xavi gone, Raphinha spoke his mind. Talking to El País, he said, "When Xavi was the coach, I knew I'd be subbed by the 60th minute. I tried to give my all in those 60 minutes, but nothing seemed to work. And in other periods, even when things were going well, I still get subbed." This was signified by his frequent outbursts when he got subbed off. It wasn't something he liked to be happening to him. This sort of had an effect on his relationship with Xavi. He felt his hard work was not being acknowledged by his manager.
You can see the logic of it because he's not been as regular a first teamer as he would have wanted to be at Barcelona. This was his dream move, let's not forget. He's had some good games, some bad games. Ousmane Dembele, I think, has gone up a level under Xavi. I'm not sure he would give up on this too early. Would he really want to go back to the Premier League with his tail between his legs and accept the Barcelona move hasn't worked?
With Xavi gone, in came Hansi Flick, and all I can say is, last season he scored 10 goals and provided 13 assists in 37 matches. This season, he has 17 goals and 10 assists in 25 matches. Hansi Flick has turned Raphinha into not just a goal-scoring machine, but a world-class assist provider too. He contributes quite a lot to this high-scoring Barcelona team. Flick got him doing all this with just one simple change, and that was making the player feel wanted. Man, there were several months, not just one, when I considered leaving. There was a lot of self-doubt. I have a nasty habit of criticizing myself heavily, so to speak, so that pressure made me think about leaving. Then obviously after the World Cup, I had a huge turnaround to put up great numbers in 6 months. Last season, after the injuries, I had the sending off against Getafe in the opening game, and also at the end of the season, seeing a lot of things that the club wanted to sell me, that the fans wanted me to leave. It also ends up crossing your mind to leave, to go somewhere where there's no pressure. But football is no fun without pressure. Football has to have a little pressure. I've always dreamed of playing for big clubs, playing big games for the national team, and you can't realize those dreams without pressure. The pressure comes with it. Playing for a club like Barcelona can be difficult sometimes, especially during this period with the financial issues and all. The club has often found itself releasing or selling players to bring in new signings. When the news of links to transfer targets are released, speculations on who gets to go out or make way for the new players begin, and when this happens, Raphinha's name is often mentioned. Things like these are the reasons why he felt he wasn't wanted, and when a player who loves Barcelona the way he does gets the feeling he isn't wanted, it does a lot to lower their morale, which in turn affects their performances. Did I ever feel neglected at Barca? Yes, I did, especially in the first 6 months and during other periods. People always said I was bad and that I should be sold, but now everything is great. Players like Raphinha are perfect for Flick's high pressing style of play. Since he relies on quickly winning the ball higher up the pitch, industrious and versatile players are needed. Along with his partner in crime Lamine Yamal, Raphinha runs up and down the flanks into the middle practically anywhere you can think of in the attack. Raphinha is still doing the exact same things as he did under Xavi, except he's doing it with more confidence. Like a lot of European clubs, Barcelona have a senior leadership made up of 5 captains. However, unlike their rivals over in Madrid, their captains are not chosen based on tenure. They are voted on. This season, Raphinha received the 4th highest tally of votes. This isn't purely ceremonial, with the 3 players in front of him, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Ronald Araujo, and De Jong, all injured. He has been outright captain on a regular basis. He's described as a calm presence in the dressing room, a happy character, and a joker, but not somebody who needs to be the center of attention. It's a source of great pride to wear the handband, not just on the field, but off it and in the dressing room. Listening to everyone, helping everyone as much as I can. I'm always ready for my teammates, and it's a happy, emotional thing to be captain. Raphinha has gotten his confidence back under Flick, and as for Flick, Raphinha is the perfect player to fit his philosophy and style of play. He is quick, active, and has a lot of energy. Himself and Lamine Yamal are doing a great deal of work on Barcelona's flanks. As it often is under Flick, more responsibilities are given to the wingers as they have to be both active in attack and defense. Raphinha's biggest confidence comes from the coach. He's given him a lot of confidence. He's already one of the captains. A player with Raphinha's quality needs the coach's confidence. Xavi is a good person. He's a friend, but I don't think he gave him that much confidence. He'd put him on, then take him off, and now he has the coach's confidence, and that's noticeable on the pitch. When Spain and Athletic Bilbao star Nico Williams showcased his immense talents on the Euro 2024 stage, Barcelona were one of the clubs competing for his signature. Before the transfer fell through, the Catalan giants were even considering selling Raphinha, as he had done with the likes of Ilkay Gundogan, to get the transfer through the door. The transfer fell through, Raphinha stayed, and he's now become an absolute beast. Barcelona may have started the season strong, but blew cold towards the middle, but Raphinha is still balling. No matter how many issues Hansi Flick believes he has to deal with, he can at least be safe with the knowledge that Raphinha isn't one of them.